Connectra creates opportunities for people living with disabilities by providing information, resources, and programming geared towards greater inclusion and quality of life. Check out some of the programs we offer through our online learning platform, Connect Together, including our Service Mondays, where we highlight a local organization or initiative. Wednesday Chair Yoga with Bobbie Seale-Cobiskey. Thursday Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson. Friday Rotating Dance Classes hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff. And other initiatives, including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay. Let's try.
Yay. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a seated adapted yoga practice. And so my name is Bobbie, for those of you who might be joining us for the first time today or viewing the video. So I'm just going to move in and put myself on gallery view. So visually that's helpful. And so, yeah, welcome to the class. I hope that you enjoy it. I will be sticking around for a few moments afterwards for any questions or feedback. And in the meantime, an invitation to trust that you are the world expert on your body. And today I will do my best to guide you in your yoga practice. And so if you know that balance is a challenge, I'd like to invite you at the beginning of the class to make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. If you're blessed with a yoga buddy, that's awesome. Your yoga buddy can help guide the movement. So of course, our poses, not doing it, but guiding, not doing the work. And other than that, most of us are teaching, or not teaching, but practicing from home. And it just so happens that I'm at the senior center in the little village that I live, not too far from. And generally I teach from home, but today I'm at the senior center. So let's begin. So as always, begin the yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. If possible, move away from the back of the chair nav so that you are supporting your own spine. Sits bones. So I'd like you to feel that you're sitting forward on your sits bones. And then as ready, Buddha belly is soft, spine is long, so lengthen your spine. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. Chin in, parallel to the floor. So if it's helpful, you could place a finger or two on your chin, imagine a turtle. If you'd like, close your eyes here. Notice the alignment of your knees, hips, ankles, shoulders over hips. And then an invitation to bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the breath. Allowing the abdomen, your abdomen to move the breath. If you'd like, and it's available to you, placing one hand on your belly. On inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your belly, take your other hand to your chest. And maybe notice the pattern of movement of your breath between your abdomen and your upper torso. And then see if you can begin to expand your breath. So making it just a little bit longer as when we began. And then an invitation to see if you can extend the exhale. So when we extend our exhale, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding, stress, and tension. So I'd like to encourage you, whenever possible, to bring your awareness back to this deep, long, easeful breath. And then when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to bring your hands together. Rub your palms together. And taking your hands apart, maybe noticing a little bit of heat or warmth between your hands. And so rubbing our hands together again. So I always love to share that there's research now that shows what we have always known, that our hands are not only connected to our mind, but to our heart as well. So I'd like to invite you to explore placing your hands. I'll give you 3 choices on your body. You choose whichever feels best for you. So the first choice would be maybe at your heart center. Alternatively, it might feel lovely resting one hand on your lap. Take your other hand, just the back of your hand to your cheek, touching lightly. Or maybe it feels lovely to place your hands at the back of your neck or your skull and pressing your head gently against your hands. And so today I'm going to press my head against my hands. If you happen to have a headrest, you can explore pressing your head against, the headrest, or your yoga buddy could place their hands at the back of your head if that feels good. And release. And so let's rub our palms together again. And so this time as you're rubbing your palms together, I'd like you to notice where in your body you're holding stress or tension and take your hands there. So open to receive. So allow your body to absorb the healing energy from your hands. Great. Okay. So moving on. I'd like to invite you now to wave your hands and then reaching up to the sky. We can imagine that we're saying hello, good afternoon, wave into our ancestors. So past, present, and future. And then coming forward a little, wave into our ancestors. And reaching up one more time. And so most of you know, I never tire of sharing the story about the woman I had in my class for a few years. She lived to be well over 100. We were doing this practice one morning and she said, I feel like my ancestors are waving back. And just like you're shaking water off your hands, let your arms look down by your side, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then if you'd like, and it's available to reaching up one more time, as high as feels comfortable for you. And this time on your exhale, make an audible sound. Ah. Woohoo, it's yoga time. So I do have a few folks that are live today joining class. And so just an invitation, if you don't have your mute on, to do that now. So Jenna, I'm noticing that you're not on mute. So that just helps to take away some of the extraneous sounds and distractions. So let's repose. Oh, hello. So I'm seeing old friends in the viewfinder today coming back. So that's lovely. All right. So repose. Ground through your sits bones. You do a little bum dance. Notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our Buddha belly is soft, spine is long. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Chin in, parallel to the floor. And from here, we'll come into a warm up. And so beginning with our neck, so warming up our cervical spine. Bring your chin gently, so gently being the key word, towards your chest. And then looking up slightly. So essentially we're exploring a range of motion. So moving your head up and down gently. And then as ready, bring your head back to neutral. And then take one ear towards your shoulder. And then move your head back and forth. So from side to side. And if for whatever reason this movement doesn't feel right, doesn't feel comfortable, I'd like to invite you to visualize the movement instead. So feel as though you're doing it. It might be a nice starting point. And then as ready, turn a soft gaze, looking just past your shoulder. Move your head only as far as feels comfortable. And then as if nodding no, turn your head from side to side. As ready, come back to center. And so we've moved our cervical spine through its range. And now we're going to continue the movement, moving down along our spine. So we're going to come into a warm up for our upper back, the thoracic area of our spine. And so when you're ready, draw your chest in. So it's as if our sternum's moving to the back of our ribs as you round your back, your shoulders. And then inhale, sternum moves forward and up. And so you may notice that as we practice this gentle warm up for our spine, that on the exhale, as we round, hands have a natural tendency to slide towards our knees. And on the inhale, as we move our sternum forward and up, hands slide in towards our hips. And so if you're super duper sensitive and the sliding your hands along your thighs doesn't feel good, I can invite you to explore moving energetically. So maybe your hands hover just above your legs. And so in your own time and rhythm, keeping this gentle warm up for your spine flowing. And then it's ready, come back to neutral spine. Take a moment, and from here we'll come into a side bend. So moving side to side. So I'd like you to imagine that you're picking something up from the ground, the earth or the floor. Hold on to the other side of your chair. So if it works for you, imagine that you're sitting between two panes of glass. So shoulder lined up with shoulder, and then move from side to side. I don't know, can you hear the birds in the background here? I'm not sure on mine. No. So it's definitely spring on the Sunshine Coast, and the birds are quite happy. singing from dawn, before dawn, and even now. And so you might find that as we warm up our spine, that the movements become more easeful. You're able to go a little deeper. And so keeping your sits bones, both of them, on the chair. We inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. If that breathing pattern doesn't work for you, if you're congested, breathe in whatever way you can. And then as ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Take a moment. And from here, we'll come into a gentle twist. So I sometimes like to place my fingers at the base of my spine. And so we'll inhale, lengthen the spine. So create space between the vertebrae. And then twisting, beginning from the base of your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Moving up the spine, that hand moves, slides in towards your head. And then moving dynamically. So twisting from side to side. So this is a gentle twist. We're not going to our full range of motion. And then slowly finish up the movement that you're on. Come back to neutral spine. And so I'd like you to take a moment to notice, is your breath still long and smooth and easeful? You notice any subtle sensations. Trust that the sensations are there. It's not going to be a rocket ship across the sky. And so moving on with our hands resting where they are, let's play air piano. So if you want, you can tap one finger at a time, whatever feels good for you. And I'm going to reach my hands up a little higher, make sure everyone can see me. So air piano. And then when you're ready, an invitation to push your hands away. So your arms can be as high or low as you like. And then draw your hands back. Push your hands away. Draw your hands back. So with this gentle movement, we're not only getting into all the joints in our arms, but we're also getting into the muscles around our shoulder blades. So giving ourselves a little back massage. Push your hands away, draw your hands back. And now when you're ready, I'd like to invite you to stretch your palms and then bring your fingertips to touch. So fingertips might touch, it might not. So as long as we're moving in that direction, we're strengthening all the muscles in our hands. So stretch your palms, fingertips touch. Stretch your palms, fingertips touch. Nice. And then when you're ready, roll your wrists in one direction. So if you notice that your mind wanders off, know that that's a natural thing to do. Just in a loving way, bring your awareness back to your breath and to your yoga practice, to your movements. And then I'd like you to invite you to slow the movements right there. And to maybe even take a look at your hands in appreciation. And then to imagine you're moving your hands through water. And then reverse the direction. Oh. And still shaking. So from here, I'd like to do a practice to help with our memory, so our brain health. And so one of the ways we can do that is having both right and left sides going on. Also to add a sound to our movements. And so what I'd like to practice is having you press your thumb into each fingertip. And then we're going to add a sound to it. So the sound is actually a little children's song. And it's peace begins with me. Each time we press into our fingertip. And so focusing on what we can do. So again, if you're able to touch, wonderful. If you're not able to, as long as we're moving in that direction, that's what matters. And so focusing on what we can do, sitting comfortably, but still up nice and tall. Here we go. Oh, and you can do this as a meditation if you want. You want to do it silently, feel free, or join me singing this little tune. So here we go. Peace begins with me. 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 And when you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky. So extend beyond your wrist, beyond your fingertips. Get bigger in space. Whoa, we tend to shrink. And then when you're ready, shake your hands like you're shaking water off your hands. All right, so I'm just going to do a time check. All right. Okay. So, I think before we move on from our upper limbs, we'll go for a little yoga swim. So let's start freestyle. And so your arms can be as high or low as you like. So I'm remembering lakes back home in Quebec. I see the ocean, I see pools. So yoga swim, who knew? And then when you're ready, how about breaststroke? And side stroke, whoosh. So if it feels like the movement, if you feel like you need to take a rest, go for it, come back into the movement or not. And then other side. And then how about butterfly? Whoosh. Whoosh. And relax. And shake out. Rest your arms wherever feels comfortable for you. And so no doubt you're feeling a little more energized. So when you're ready, come on, seated back in the chair comfortably. And so I really want you to make sure that you're feeling supported by the back of your chair. And so let's repose. Let's start by ground through your feet. Center and ground through the soles of your feet. We want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. We tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. You do a little bum dance or move the buttock flesh away from your sits bones. So in a way, when we're seated in the chair, sits bones act like the feet of our toes. Lengthen your spine, so creating space between your vertebrae. Lift your shoulders out, back and down. Relax your arms in your lap or wherever feels most comfortable for you. Chin in, parallel to the floor. So an invitation now to push down through one foot and then push down through your opposite foot. And so it might be an energetic pushing down. And notice, do you feel one foot more than the other? And then as ready, we'll come into from here a movement called finding our balance. And so balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so worth repeating, balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. So I'd like you to begin by taking hold of maybe the underside of your chair. Again, if you know balance is a challenge, make sure you have whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so we'll begin with inhale, lengthen the spine, and then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. So it's not about seeing how far down we can go. We only come to that just right amount of effort and ease. And then rock back up. And so let's keep continuing this gentle movement in your own time and rhythm. And sometimes it can be interesting to close your eyes as we practice these gentle movements. And noticing that sometimes when we come into a forward fold, our chin wants to jut up. So notice how it feels to tuck your chin inside. Releasing the neck a little. So when you come forward, lead with the heart, not the head. Then slowly, as ready, make your way back to neutral spine. Relax your arms by your side. Whatever feels comfortable for you, take a moment and let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Soft belly, quiet breath. Okay. So from here, you can maybe place soft fists at your hips or hold the chair. Up to you, whatever feels good for you. And from here, I'd like to invite you to circle your heart forward. So keeping your sits bones on the chair. So circle your heart forward and then circle your heart back. And you might notice that as we warm up our lower back and hips, so we're able to go a little bit deeper. So shoulders move towards our knees. Of course, we're not coming all the way down. And then as ready, reverse the direction. So this movement can feel a little strange if you're not accustomed to it. So we're going to encourage you to move in your own time and rhythm. And so bring a gentle awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. And especially an invitation to explore bringing your awareness to the space behind you. And so moving away from me to we, invitation to trust that we are being supported. And slowly make your way back to your neutral spine. Relax your arms wherever it feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment to notice the effects of those movements. Notice how's your breath. Our old friend, our breath. And so from here is ready. Reach your arm up in line with your shoulder if that feels okay. If that's not higher than the shoulder, but in line or lower, that feels better for you. And then turn your palm face up. Soft, bend in your elbow, extend your arm away from you. So breathing in. Arm comes back forward, palm face down, release. So whatever we do on one side, we do on the other if possible. Reach up, spiral your palm open, moving with grace and ease, extend your arm away from you. On inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. And so, reaching up, spiral your palm open. If it feels okay for your neck this time, I'd like you to gaze past your middle fingers. You bring your arm out to the side. Inhale, come on back center, palm face down, release. Other side, reach up, spiral your palm open. Gazing past your middle finger, extend your arm away from you. Inhale, come back center, palm face down, release. So let's practice the movement just a few more times. At this time, I'd like to add a sound to the movement. And so the sound I'd like to explore today is so, as we lift up, and as you bring your arm out to the side, hum. And so let's do this together. We'll begin again. So inhale, so, exhale, hum. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. So we know sound has a vibration. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. So if the sound so hum doesn't resonate with you, maybe explore making a shh sound. So here we go. Inhale, so, spiral your palm open, exhale, hum. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. Inhale, so, or shh, if that works better for you. Exhale, hum. Inhale, so, exhale. Just relax your arms by your side and then on your lap. And take a moment. And so, moving on, I'd like to invite you to maybe give your legs a little massage and inner thighs, and make soft fists, tapping into your lots of lymph nodes in the groin area. So they're right in there. If tapping's too intense, you just pat and move energetically. And then moving down the legs a little bit, as far as feels stable for you. And then tapping back up. And then how about love taps for the rest of our body? And then just take a moment, feel the effects of the tapping. So from here, we're going to come into a practice called Breath of Joy. And so it's just what it sounds like, breath of joy. So energizing. And so the way we practice it is 3 sniffs in a row. So 3 sniffs in through your nose, unless you're congested. And then it's an exhale. So it's exhale. So if you're congested or you have an obstruction, of course, breathe in whatever way you can. You're also going to add arm movements. And so the first movements with the arms in front, then out to the side, in front again, and then a big exhale. So make sure that there's no hard surface near you, that you're able to spread your wings without whacking your arm or hand on anything or a person. So here we go. Inhale, 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 and drop. 2 more rounds. Breath of joy. Inhale, 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 drop. 1 more time. Inhale, 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 and drop. Breath of joy. So, I actually like to share a little practice. It's just a teeny tiny little piece of laughter yoga. And so, of course, we know smiling is contagious, and laughter, super good for our lungs. We're breathing, and so it is that time of year, spring, when sometimes the transition can be, we can have colds and so on. So whatever we can do to open up our lungs. And so here we go. So the way we do a little piece of laughter yoga together, and no one can hear you, by the way, is we begin with the sound. Ho, ho, ho. He, he. Ho, ho, ho. He, he. Or maybe it's ho, ho, ho. Ha, ha, ha. And so that's it. What can I say? So on that happy note, let's just do little shakeouts, so wiggly fidgets. Be creative, right? Woohoo! It's springtime. It's yoga time. Okay. All right. So let's repose. Make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long. Chin in parallel with the floor. And so from here, let's come into a gentle chest opener. So meditation of the heart. So bring your hands together. Could be palms open or in prayer pose. Whatever your expression is of prayer pose. At the heart center. And so if this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. So we never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. So it might be that you place your hands on your Buddha belly instead. And then as you're ready on an inhale, extend your arms up and away. And so I feel really good with my arms just a little lower than my shoulders. Maybe yours are up higher and lower. And then making soft fists, take your hands back to your heart center or your Buddha belly. And so making soft fists is good if you have arthritis in your hands. Inhale, extend your arms up and away. Soft fists, taking your hands back to your heart center or your Buddha belly. And so, if you'd like, in your own time and rhythm, so imagine the sun at your heart center. And on your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale, this time on your exhale, make a bumblebee sound, humming sound. And so if you prefer to listen, that's perfectly fine. Or if you make the bumblebee sound, you might notice that it lengthens the exhale. And one more time, inhale. So bowing your head towards your heart, place one hand on your abdomen, the other on your heart center. And take a moment to feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Little shakeouts. I'm just going to check the time. Comes by so quickly. And so let's come into the movements of the spine. So let's come into a side bend. So I'd like to invite you to take hold of the underside of your chair, wherever you need to feel stable and balanced. Release your opposite arm by your side, spiral your palm open. Soft bend in your elbow. So I'll give you a few choices. So if you have shoulder stuff going on, it might feel better to just keep your hand at your shoulder. Alternatively, maybe gold pose, so reaching up and over. So I have some stuff going on in my forearm. So on this side, I'm going to keep my hand on my shoulder. And then when you're ready, inhale, lengthen your spine. On an exhale, come into your side bend. Keep both sits bones on the chair and then turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck. And then breathe into your rib cage. Can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And then as ready, come out of the pose on this side. And so coming into the pose on the other side, take hold of the underside of your chair, your wheel. If you're a wheelchair user, whatever feels good. Release your opposite arm by your side and take your arm to your place. So it might be hand on your shoulder, maybe gold pose, maybe reaching up and over. Turn your gaze down towards the floor to release your neck. Breathe into your rib cage. Can you feel that you're creating space in your rib cage? And release. And out of the pose. And stop. Okay, a little shake out. So from here, we're going to come into seated twists. And so I think the version I'm going to teach today, I haven't taught for a while. So if possible, bring your feet a little wider than outer hip bone distance. So creating a little more space for boot and belly. And then when you're ready, take your hands to your heart center. So it might be palms together, palms open, I think palms together. Press into the palms of your hands. Give your wrists a little stretch. So inhale, lengthen your spine. And then on your exhale, take your elbow point down to your thigh. So if you need to bring your thigh to you by placing a block there or something, go for it. Lift your opposite elbow up towards the ceiling or sky, and then turn your gaze up past your elbow. And then when you're ready, come on back center. Inhale, lengthen your spine, and then we'll come into the pose on the other side. So take your elbow point down to your thigh, reach your other elbow up towards the sky, and then turn your gaze up if that feels okay for your neck. And then it's ready, come on back to your neutral spine. And release. Whew. So let's rock and roll. We're going to flow in and out of the twist. So an inhale, reach up, exhale, twist. So in your own time and rhythm, twisting from side to side. So make sure you go into your twist on an exhale. So in yoga, we either stay in poses or we flow in and out, moving dynamically. And then finish up the movement that you're on. And then come on back to neutral spine. You do a little shake out. And then from here, so side bends, twists, pretty intense spinal movements. So we need to realign our spine. So we can do that with a seated forward fold. So take hold of the underside of your chair. Lengthen your spine. Hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. Walk your feet forward a little if you need to. And so chin in, you might nod yes and no. Release your neck. And then breathe into your lower back. Or you might imagine that your lungs are in your lower back. And then slowly come out and forward bend by pushing down through your inner heels. So it might be an energetic pushing down. Place one hand on each of your thigh, and then come, or even bring your hands into your hips. Come up with a flat back. Nice. Okay. So I think we have time to do around sun salutation before we move into your guided meditation and final relaxation. So of course, want to make sure that our feet are placed evenly on the floor, on their footrest. Sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long. Lift your shoulders up, back and down. Chin in, parallel to the floor. And so come into mountain pose. So open up your armpits a little bit. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. So bend from your shoulder blades. If it doesn't create tension in your neck, take a look between your palms. Notice if they're facing each other, then return your gaze on the horizon. Then maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So bowing our head towards our heart, this is the nerve flossing for our neck. And so as ready, come into mountain pose, arms by your sides, spiraling, arms open. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. This time hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So it might be softest at your hips, maybe holding the underside of your chair. Tuck your chin in slightly, forward bend. Downward facing dog, adapted for the chair. So rest your forearms on your lap. Push down through your inner heels. And then baby cobra, lower. And then lift your heart, lift your solar plexus. Downward facing dog again. So lower, place your forearms on your lap, push down through your inner heels, lengthen. And then when you're ready, come on back up. And so we'll do a seated version of a lunge. So if you'd like, visualize the movement. So remembering that imagination is powerful. So energy flows where thoughts go. So alternatively, if it feels okay for you, bring your front leg under the front of the chair. And then if you'd like to add your arm reaching up to the sky. So arm can be up along your ear, maybe a goalpost. Float your arm down, step your foot forward, hinging from the hips, forward fold, scoop up. Imagine that radiant light of the sun all around you. And then bringing your hands into prayer, we imagine a waterfall. We're bowing our head towards our heart. And so we'll practice one more round. So come into mountain pose. Open up your armpits, sit up nice and tall. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, forward fold. So you might take hold of the underside of the chair or soft fist at your hips. Press your sits bones back. And then downward facing dog. So forearms on your lap. So this is a lovely adapted version. And then if you'd like, come into baby cobra. So you lower and then hands on your thighs, lift your heart, lift your solar plexus up through the crown of the head. And then downward facing dog again, lower, forearms on your lap. Press down through your inner heels. And then it's ready. Come on back up and we'll come into the lunge on the other side. So it might be that you're visualizing the lunge, or if possible, take your front leg under the chair. Add your arm if you'd like. So arm up around your ear, gold post. Float your arm down. Step your foot forward. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Soft bend in your elbows. Reaching up to the sky, scooping up that beautiful radiant light of the sun. And then palms come together in prayer, down through to the heart. Imagine a waterfall. So bowing our head towards our heart, and place one hand on your yoga belly, your Buddha belly. your other on your heart center. And take a rest. And you feel the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And then once ready, you can seat it back in your chair in preparation for a short guided meditation and your final relaxation. So make sure you have what you need to stay warm. And so a little blanket, a bit of weight on our thighs can be grounding. If you'd like, if you're in a regular chair and you want to push your chair up against the wall, you might just be able to lean back in the chair. If you're a wheelchair user and you have the ability to recline, go for it. And so an invitation to sitting comfortably. Close your eyes softly or soften your gaze. So if we soften our gaze, look downwards 3 or 4 feet in front of us, that can be calming for the nervous system. And soft palms. Rest your hands, palms face up or down as desired. Soft Buddha belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose. Serenity pose. Relax your jaw, unclench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Silently, if you like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. So if it's challenging, quiet the mind, placing our hands on our belly and bringing our awareness to our breath can be helpful. So without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. And so our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen the exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs. And come on up, seated comfortably, finish your yoga. And so thank you, everyone. Notice how you feel before and after your yoga practice. And so thank you, Kausar, my wonderful tech host. And Connectra, of course, and the Disability Foundation, providing this lovely opportunity for us to meet, gather, and have a yoga class together. So I'm just going to move into the iPad a little closer so I get a better visual. Oh, it's here. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you, Teresa. I haven't seen you for a while, feels like.
Hey, Bobbie.
Hey,
I'm sorry I missed last week, but I had the first appointment with my new family doctor. After a year
Oh.
of being without a family doctor, I've got a new one.
right
What?
on.
Yeah.
Important. How'd
He's
it go?
really nice.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
We hit it off right away.
Oh, so happy. And
Doctor.
Pardon?
is he in Kits?
Yeah, he's in the same practice that I was in before.
Oh, right on. Oh, perfect.
But when she retired, there was no, but they just got a couple more doctors in. So it's within walking distance. Great.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, Janet. Yeah, good
He's
stuff.
already sent me for a Shingrix vaccination.
A what vaccination?
A shingles vaccination.
Oh, I heard Shingri, and I thought, which I know.
Shingrix, it's called. So
Oh,
my left arm's been paining me just a bit, but it's fine. I just took Tylenol.
yeah, I've had shingles. Not fun.
I have too, but you can get it again.
Right. Yeah. So, Sheila, lovely to see you. Teresa.
So much, Bobbie. Another wonderful class. And you know how I enjoy the breath of joy. I just love that.
It's good to see you all. I'm glad. Yeah, it's fun. It's energizing.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Happy Easter to you.
Oh, thanks. Great. I'm gonna eat lots of chocolate. We chocolate Easter egg cream is out of this world. So
Right.
those of you who don't know, my husband and I co-own a little ice cream shop down at the pier in the village here. And we brought in mini egg. And oh my God, is it ever delicious. So I'll give you all happy Easter, however you choose to celebrate. Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
So
Bye.
bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
I love your blanket. Very nice. Okay.
It's easy. When I feel caught, I just throw it down. I don't have to worry about it.
Oh, perfect.
If I wear a jacket, it's hard to remove. So.
Right. Of course. Smart. Okay. So I'm off to the dentist this afternoon. Finally. Been forever trying
Next, you will have some less teeth.
a new dentist. And he's really cool. I can tell already.
Mm.
Love you, Kausar.
See you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye, Kim.